Today on our 2014 Volkswagen Passat, we're going to be test fitting the Inno Aero roof rack system. As you can see, these crossbars have a nice aerodynamic shape to them, so it's going to cut down on wind noise and drag while you're driving. Seeing this rubber strip up here is going to let us know we can utilize T-track accessories while we have this installed. You would simply just take off this end cap, and instead of having to remove the rubber strip like in a lot of systems, you simply just push down right there, insert whatever accessory you might have, and it simply just slides across into place. So there's no cutting involved. You don't have to repurchase any type of rubber strip. Works just like that, and then you put your end cap on, and then you're ready to go. Down here we're going to see that we have a nice lock system that comes with a set of keys for security purposes, for those times where you want to make sure that no one else can remove your roof rack except for you. You can simply just insert your key, unlock it, and it comes off like that. We're going to see in our feet kit, there's going to be a tightening bolt right here that tightens our rubber coated hook from our fit kit under our door jamb and clamps it to the roof of the vehicle. Down here with our fit kit, we're going to have a rubber coated hook and this nice rubber padding under our Inno through feet, and that's going to help protect the door frame and the top of our vehicle from any type of scratches or abrasions while we're driving. How you put the end cap back on, we have these two hooks right here, and we're simply going to latch those on right there, fold it up. Once it clicks like that, you can just lock it right up, and you're ready to hit the road. How we got our front bar in place was we measured from the center of the door jamb to the center of our crossbar, and we measured the same length on both sides, and you can find this measurement in your instructions. We're going to take a look at the second part of the kit now and show you everything that's going to come with it, as long as the rear crossbar partially assembled. As you can see, we have the other part of our fit kit right here. We have our other through feet along with the little bracket system that's going to come with it. We have our two tightening tools for two different areas of assembly. Then of course our end caps for our feet, end cap for the bar, and our set of keys. We have our longer crossbar right here, which is going to be 51 inches. It's partially assembled. I'll show you guys how we're going to fully assemble it. We're first going to turn it over like so. First thing you got to do is grab this little metal bracket piece wrapped in plastic. We're going to pull out this piece right here. In its original position is going to be like this. We're simply going to pull it out all the way like that. We're going to come up under it and insert our bracket, making sure that this little open part is facing the outside, like so. Once you do that, you can slide it right back in. We're going to pull it all the way back here. When it stops like that, we're going to come to this little piece and push it in, and then push this slider right all the way in like that. When I'm going to come up to our other feet, we're going to grab it and take our rubber pad and attach it right here. You're going to see these little notches simply insert right there. We're simply just going to put that on and press down until it's clamped on there, like so. From there, we're going to take our feet, we're going to take this little part right here, insert it right there, making sure this bolt is facing out. So as you can see, we're going to insert it like that. Once we have it down in there, we're just going to pull out like that, and now we can adjust it to whatever length we need. Before we tighten that down, we're going to take our rubber coated hook. We're going to untighten this bolt right here. I'm going to just set it right here for now. Stick the bolt back through this little slot and just thread it a little bit. We don't need to tighten it down at all right now. Just need to do that. From there, we can grab our end cap, go ahead and put that on. Now, to measure how far apart we need our feet, you can find this measurement in your instructions. We're going to go from the edge of the feet right here to edge like that. I'm going to go like that, all the way like this. We're going to see it needs to come in a bit. Maybe just a little bit more. Just a little bit that way. You want to get it as close as possible to that measurement because that's how it's going to fit up on our roof. That looks just about right. I'm going to set our tape measure right there because we're going to need it. Before we put it up on our roof, we're going to take our first tightening tool and insert it into there where there's a bolt. As you can see right there. It's going to go in there and we're going to tighten that down, and that's going to keep our feet in place so they don't shift on us while it's installed. And then when you're trying to remove your roof rack system and take it apart, you simply just loosen that to get your feet out. Now that's tightened. And if sometimes your tightening tool might get stuck, but it just comes out with a little bit of force. Come to the other side and tighten it down. We'll just make sure we have it tight. There we go. Now we're ready to go ahead and put it on our roof. Before we do that, you do want to open both your rear doors. I'm going to leave that right there for now. Now when we first put it on our roof, we're just going to set it on top before we tighten it down because we're going to need to measure to make sure we have it in the right spot. So just like this, we'll just set it right on top for now. Making sure the hooks can slide down and get under the door frame like that. We'll just go to the other side and make sure the hook can get in. And it can. And there we go. So how we're going to measure the spread is we're going to do it the same way we did the front bar. Is we're going to measure from the door frame to the center of our crossbar. Just going to shut this just a little bit, not all the way. And again, you can find this measurement in your instructions. And we are just have to come a little bit that way. Whoop, too much. Just like that. There we go. Once you get that, we're ready to go ahead and tighten it down. Now we're going to grab our other tightening tool, which is going to come like this. We're simply going to pull out the metal piece, insert it into the center. Now it's ready for use. When we start out, we just want to tighten until it's snug against our door frame. We don't want to tighten it down just yet because we want to get both sides snug as to not pull on either side so it's uneven. So now that that's snug, you saw it moved just a bit as I tightened it down. Come to the other side, tighten just a bit till it's snug. So now that this side is snug against it, I'm going to turn it and tighten it more. Once you hear those audible clicks, that's how you know it's tight enough, which is a neat feature about this tightening tool. Come to this side and do the same thing. Whoop. That's how we know it's tight enough. We can go ahead and shut both of our doors, and we're ready to take off. But not before we put our end caps on, because we don't want anyone trying to loosen and take off our roof rack. There we go. Now you can store your keys and your tightening tools in your vehicle, maybe in your glove box, wherever you prefer. Before we go, I do want to make a few measurements to give you an idea of how high those will sit off your roof. We're going to have about 3 1/8 inches right there. Now from the top of our roof to the top of our crossbar is going to be about 4 1/4 inches right there. So that's plenty of space to utilize any accessories that might have to wrap around the crossbar, such as a bike rack or a kayak carrier, anything to that nature. The strap, when it wraps around, should not damage the roof of your vehicle, so that's very good to know. If you have a sunroof on your Passat, it also sits high enough to where it's not going to impede on that either. The carrying capacity for this roof rack system is 100 pounds, but you do want to be sure to double check your vehicle's manual to make sure that your roof can handle those weights. And there you have it for the Inno Aero roof rack system on our 2014 Volkswagen Passat.